Evening, everyone. It is, what is it, Wednesday the something of August. So we're tuning in tonight. I'm in Sydney, but I'm going to be talking to my good mate Pommie Paul up on the Gold Coast, who's in lockdown up there. And hey, everyone, hopefully our good friends in Queensland will get released on this Sunday coming. So tonight's going to be a good one. Like, I've known Pom from when I worked on the Goldie. I must have known him for 16, 17 years. I bought an old Valiant off him years ago, and I swapped him money and a Mickey Sharp's tattoo machine. So we've got a good history. I've worked at 383 over the years, so tonight's going to be fun. I'm just going to invite him in, and he's coming in from 383. They've just recently moved their studio and reopened just down a few shops down space. So he will give us a little tour of it later on. And I think he's got a special guest with him. So we just wait for this. Here we go, Pom.
Here we are.
How are you, buddy?
Mate?
Good.
How you doing?
Good, mate, good. How's the weather up there?
It was really beautiful today, mate. Lovely sunny day.
Nice. Mate, I've got fucking envy.
Yeah. I'll get the piss taken out of me for that all the time.
Mate, well, you've always been a leader in style, that's for sure. So, you know, I'll catch up with it sooner or later.
Calm down.
So cool. So basically, I was just saying before you came on, like, you know, I met you when I was working on a Goldie like 16, 17, 18 years ago, and I bought that old Valiant off you.
Yeah.
And I think
then that you gave me a Mickey Sharp's machine. I've forgotten about that. I've still got it.
Oh, mate. I hope you still got it.
I have still got it.
Nice. No, amazing. So yeah, but it's been cool because, you know, we're, you know, a similar era in tattooing and that sort of thing, and both worked on the Goldie and sort of came up through the shops. And, you know, yeah. I've got a shop here in Sydney, and you got a killer shop on the Goldie now. So it's going to be a good story. So
cool.
Let's start it off, mate. You're originally a Londoner, is that correct?
Yeah, sort of. Well, south of London, about an hour south of London. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
And you've got a bit of an interesting story, like, because I know you came over to Australia with your dad when you were around 15. So
right.
was tattooing on the horizon before then? Because I know your brother was a tattoo artist.
Yeah, he was. He was. Well, he was tattooing out of his bedroom at home.
As you do.
As you do. Which back there was, you know, even getting your hands on a tattoo kit was really difficult. I mean, no internet, nothing like that. So I think he got it, a tiny little ad out the back of I don't know, probably some girly magazine or something like that. Came from the States, and I actually got home from school one day, and he was all excited, pumped, and he's like, "Come on upstairs, I've got it all set up, we're ready to go." And I was like, "What?" Went up. Next thing I know, I'm getting tattooed by a bloke who's never done tattoo in his life, and
mate, brotherly love.
Yeah, he was a good bloke like that.
Did you have a choice in the design?
No, it was a butterfly, I think, by memory, and just carved me up, mate. Like tore my leg to bits. Like the calf was just ruined, but you know, he had no idea how to set up needle depth or anything like that. But anyway, I went for it, and. But the best part was, he goes, now we've got to sterilise it, and poured 100% alcohol all over it.
Mate, safety first.
Oh, yeah, mate. Like, yeah. Always. No gloves, no nothing back then, mate.
Well, yeah, totally, man. It was a different time, hey? So,
yeah,
you know.
Absolutely.
So, back then, like, what did you know of tattoo shops in your area, or what was around you?
Yeah, the closest back then, there is tattoo shops in that town now, Maidstone, but the closest one back then, and probably the best known one, was an old fella called Charlie Bell. He was in Chatham.
Yeah,
probably
amazing.
About 20 miles away, and actually it turned out his son-in-law, I think, Andy J, who did my first tattoos in a shop. He was a son-in-law. He wasn't really, so to speak, a tattooer. He was a draftsman, I think. But his father-in-law, Charlie Bell.
Yeah, crazy.
Tattooing
crazy.
Yeah.
So was that before you came to Australia? You got that tattoo, or after?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
Got a couple of him. I went in there with my brother, and my brother's always there, sort of misleading me, but I went in and got a couple of bluebirds and an eagle.
Yep.
And I think the bluebirds were something like £2 or something, and I think the eagle was like £5. I got like 3 tattoos for about £11 or something like that.
Yeah. What, in the one day?
Yeah, mate. No, wait, he banged them on that quick. Like the bluebirds took like 10 minutes each. And the eagle was like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, mate. What is it? In for a penny, in for a pound.
Exactly.
Yeah. But mate,
yeah, that was cool anyway. No, didn't ask me for ID, nothing.
Mate, no, I know, mate. I got tattooed at 15, and I looked about 11. You know, and it's fucking so crazy that I knew so many kids, 15, 16, back when I was growing up, had half sleeves, had fucking tattoos on their calves, all this sort of stuff. It was just no one asked the question.
No, he didn't ask. He didn't even blink. Like I said, I want that, and that. I was like, 14, nearly 15, I think. And he was like, sit down. Bang.
Yeah, actually, the guy goes to me, he goes, how old are you, mate? I'm like, 18, mister. And he just goes, don't tell your mum where you got it done. Okay.
Never tell mum. My man didn't even know I had tattoos for about 2 years.
Oh, crazy. Yeah. So, all right. So then what brought you to Australia?
Well, yeah, my dad had a friend who lived in Sydney, and I think he came over to England, and they got chatting, and he got the invite over. Yep. And so, he just came to me and said, look, I'm going over to Australia for a holiday. Do you want to come? And
nice.
I was like, straight away, yeah, that'd be great, you know. And then when he left my room, I was like, oh, shit, you know. Like, I realised, obviously, Australia's beach and everything. And by then, I had other tattoos as well.
Yep. Yeah, and the old man didn't know.
He didn't know. So I had to go and fess up. Like, it took me a couple of days to pluck up the courage to go and fess up that I actually had tattoos. And I always remember, actually, I think he thought it was going to be something else, because I said to him, look, Dad, I've got something to tell you. And I was seeing this girl at school at the time, and he was like,
oh, you were thinking she was pregnant?
Yeah. I really think he thought that, because he went, oh, no. And he goes, what is it? And I went, I've got tattoos. He was like, oh, okay.
Oh, is that all? Oh, sweet. Yeah. Just get one for your mum.
Yeah, absolutely. So, crazy. And then, so we came over to Sydney, and just for a 3-week holiday, awesome holiday.
Yep.
And when we were in Sydney, he worked for a brewery, my man, in England, John Courage Brewery.
Okay.
So I think just to suss out the lay of the land sort of thing, he went for a job interview at Tui's.
Nice.
And actually got the job, but then had to fess up and say, look, I'm only here on a holiday.
Yeah.
So we went home, and about 3 or 4 weeks later, they contacted him and said, we still want you to take the job. So he went back, and in the meantime, the house got sold, and we ended up coming back over. Yeah. Yeah,
crazy. So when you came back, was your brother still tattooing then?
No, not straight away, but he stayed in Sydney, and I went up to the Gold Coast.
Yep.
And he did end up opening up a shop in Potts Point.
Yep.
Which I went down and helped him out with for a little while.
Yeah, cool. Because you come back to Australia from about 15 to 21, something like that?
I went back, when I was 15, I went back. About 16, I went back. Yep. I'd already been working in a fruit market in Hornsby.
Okay,
and, saved up a bit of money, which I thought was a fortune at the time. It was about $2,000. Took me a year to do it. And went back with that money, and soon my brother saw the money. He was like, oh, we're going to open a tattoo shop. So we ended up opening a tattoo shop in Maidstone. First one ever in the town, actually.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, very, very young, mate. Very young, and had a weird system there. But at that point, I hadn't actually done an outline.
Yep.
So I was just colouring them in, and we had like this weird setup. We had like a long board that we worked at, and he'd outline them, and then they'd move along like a little production line. And
to shuffle down?
Yeah, and he'd start another outline. Same needle.
Right. Yeah, but that's the way it was, and you hear a lot of that. People would colour in tattoos just to get the motion of the hand, the feel of the machine, how to deal with customers. you know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Different world though, mate. You know yourself, like
yeah.
no gloves.
Yeah, it was totally.
Same,
It was
same tubes, same. I mean, it just looking back on it, it's an absolute nightmare. But you know, it was what it was, and you didn't know any different. You know.
No, it was an incredibly innocent time.
It was an innocent time. Yeah. But anyway, funny thing with that shop, it actually went quite well, you know, because it was the only shop in town, and I mean back then obviously there was no appointments or anything; it was first in first serve sort of thing. And we showed up for work one morning. There was a few people lined up, and opened the doors, and the place was trashed, and like, you know, it's flash ripped down, you know, colours all splattered over the floors and walls and shit, and all our equipment gone. And it turned out we'd been robbed, like a bloke. They were like little terrace buildings. And some bloke had got on the roof, broke some tiles off, shingle tiles off the roof, smashed the hole, come down through the upstairs and then into our shop, and just got all our gear. And so that was kind of the end of it. I mean, we had no insurance or anything. I was only still 17, 18. My brother was about 20.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So that put an end to that temporarily. They actually caught the bloke who did do it, though. He was kind of a bit of a locally known nutcase villain sort of thing. And we did get the machines back eventually, but it kind of, the ship had sailed by then anyway. So he went to court with the burglary of our shop, plus he had broken into some granny's flat and nicked her budgie. Took her budgie. So.
Criminal mastermind.
Pretty diverse sort of burglar, you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. Laying bets each way everywhere. Yeah. So after that, was that then you both came to Australia?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And I eventually ended up in the Gold Coast, and he stayed down in Sydney in that time. Yeah.
What took you up to the Goldie?
I think we came up here for a holiday as surfers or something, and then just sort of liked it, and it was just one of those things that happened, you know what I mean? It wasn't really a planned thing, but it just kind of happened, came up, didn't really have any roots to speak of in Australia at that point, so just stayed sort of thing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Cool. And then how did tattooing kick off for you in Australia?
I think I was just telling some mates that I tattooed, and someone had a machine, or it just kind of evolved again, you know, but not straight away. First of all, when I first came, I got a job in sort of graphic design or illustration for a surf company that used to be down at Currumbin called Headwork. So I did that for a couple of years. So the tattooing thing didn't happen straight away.
Yeah, okay,
cool. That was pretty cool. I quite enjoyed that at the time, like, you know, just designing T-shirts and, you know, all that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah, were you like living the, you know, not the backpacker lifestyle, but the ladder broad lifestyle down the south end of the Goldie? Were you into surfing? I mean,
what's a 20-year-old or 21-year-old bloke from, you know, South London know about the
drinking party
industry? Not much, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So I was kind of winging it. The guy who gave me the job, actually, Keith, he was a really nice fella, and he just really liked the style of the drawing, you know, the artwork I showed him. So he gave me a go, and it did work out pretty well, actually, for a few years.
Yeah. So you've obviously always been into art and done drawing. Like, have you got any sort of formal education? Like,
no, just basically all through my childhood, obsessed with comics.
Yep, right.
I used to just draw comics and, you know, Hulk, Spider-Man, all that sort of stuff. You know, I loved all that shit.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Because, like, I was looking at, like, the sketch you put up the other day. You do a lot of figurative work, so I guess comics is incredible.
I think, yeah, that's funny you say it, because when sometimes I even look at it, I think, fuck me, mate, you're still drawing comics, you
know? No, it's wild, mate. It's wild. So what was the first sort of shop you worked at on the Goldie?
That was actually a fella called Paul Cresties gave me a go out at Carrara Markets. He opened up a shop out there.
Yeah,
and,
cool.
I went out there and gave that a go. It was a real slow start. Like, there wasn't a lot of work there in the beginning. But he was the first guy really to give me any kind of formal guidance, you know, like structured guidance with tattooing in a way. Like, because all I'd done before that was learn what my brother knew, which wasn't very much, you know what I mean? Like, he hadn't been formally taught either, you know. So Paul got me, you know, breaking down machines, making needles properly. Like, I'd done making needles, obviously, but he got me doing it properly. And that was the first time that I actually got sort of to learn a little bit of how the industry works and how things work from somebody's experience, you know what I mean? Like, I've been kind of winging it a lot up until that point.
Yeah, there's a lot of bluff. You just sort of pretend you know what you're doing, and
still doing it.
Got to just have some front and just, you know, get on with it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Until that door opens a little bit.
So working with him was good. He sort of showed me the ropes a bit, and that's actually where the Pommie Paul thing came from, because his name was Paul.
Right.
So if someone rang up to try and get in the shop for a tattoo, like his missus used to say, "Oh, do you want Big Paul or do you want the Pommie Paul?" And it was like,
yep.
And it kind of just stuck, you know. That's where that
amazing.
Kicked off. Yeah.
But I imagine even back then, like, you know, tattooing at the markets, you were out of like the tourist area, so to speak. And I know.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I know when I went to the Goldie, it was sort of very seasonal still. Like, you know, it wasn't like it is sort of now all year round. You know, the tattoo culture hadn't exploded. And
no, it hadn't.
Yeah, and black and grey was still probably the predominant style on the Goldie back then. There weren't a lot of people getting sleeves or back jobs or anything like that.
No, it was all just really kind of walk-in little bangers back then, you know, and done at a bit of a budget too out of the market, really, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Like, just, you know, the foot traffic that came through there wasn't looking to get tattooed. They were looking to buy some, fucking, I don't know, you know, craft works or, you know, like whatever it is they sell out of the markets. It wasn't really somewhere you'd go specifically to go and get tattooed, I reckon, you know.
Yeah, cool. How long were you with that Paul for?
It's a long time ago, mate. I think maybe a year.
Yeah, cool. And then what was the next sort of progression of studio?
I kind of crossed paths a few times with Legs, who used to work with the Braniffs.
Yeah.
He was with the Braniffs quite a long time in Surfers at Skin Effects, and he'd gone out on his own. Yep. And he opened up a shop called Ace's Wild at Mermaid Beach. Yeah. Yep. And he was
the one upstairs, wasn't it?
Hey?
It was upstairs, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. No, not that one.
Oh,
that
right.
was at Nobby's, that one. He
Oh,
moved it later on down to Nobby's, but this one was right on the highway there. Yep. And he got quite busy quite quickly, I think, and so he sort of needed help, and I knew him, and he actually rang me one day, and I wasn't out at the markets, and he's like, "Mate, I've got like 3 tattoos need doing here, and I can't do them. I'm booked up. Can you get out here and do them?" So I sort of went in there and helped him out for the day, and it just kind of kicked on from there.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, sometimes, like, it's interesting doing these interviews, talking to a lot of people that have, you know, been around it 10 or 15 years plus. You know, an opportunity presents itself and you just sort of jump on it and you go for it, where maybe these days people might be a bit more hesitant. And then, you know, that's how things were, and you just, you know, you got to
there wasn't front up and do it. Anyway, Rhys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many shops there are on the Gold Coast now. It'd be 80 or 100 or something ridiculous like that. Back then, there was like 5 shops. So if you
totally.
got an opportunity to get into one of them, you weren't umming and ahhing, because it wasn't like you had a whole lot of options somewhere else, you know? Yeah,
totally. And a lot of those shops just had like 2, maybe 3 people in them tops.
Yeah.
You know, Skin Effects was probably the biggest with the double shifts going. Yeah. But that was smack bang in the middle of Surfers. So, you know, that's one of the reasons when I left Melbourne, is because the opportunity didn't come up anywhere near as much as it does now to move around. You didn't have the connection with artists. You didn't have the opportunities. So, when it came up, you jumped on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree,
You know, where were you living on the Goldie around this period?
When I worked with Legs, I would have been living in Bundle.
Yeah, cool.
Bundle.
Cool.
Yeah. Little sort of weatherboard beach shacky sort of. I ended up buying it actually for
Yeah, awesome.
120 grand, I think it was.
Nice, nice, mate.
Yeah.
Good time. And because I know, you know, you're married and you got 2 boys. Were your boys on the scene around this time as well?
The oldest was, yeah. He was, when he was born, he sort of got raised in that house, yeah, for about
cool
4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So with your time at Legs's, you would have probably, I dare say, because of the location, and maybe tattooing changing a bit, and, you know, you becoming, because, you know, when I was on the Goldie, like, you know, I knew of your name before I met you and all this sort of stuff. So you were obviously getting a bit of a following and creating your style and, you know, branching out. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, right at the very beginning stages though, but it was still a lot of walking stuff and a lot of flash.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know, back then I had heaps of, you know, custom pieces to draw at home or anything like that. I mean, now and again I did, but mostly it was stuff off the wall, or someone would just bring in something fairly simple that you could draw up on the spot, you know?
Yep. Yep.
A lot of it was stuff drawn up on the spot, really, because I wasn't doing like sleeves or back jobs or anything back then. It was sort of like, you know, one-off bangers. You finish it in like 3 or 4 hours. You know, I found back then that I wasn't personally getting asked to do a lot of big work. You know, that came later, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Because after your time with Legs, you moved to Borderline with Ebbles?
Yeah. So I was with Legs, I think, 3 years or something like that.
Yep.
And, it was mates with Timmy down there, and he just offered me a spot one time. And like you say, you just sort of roll with the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know? So
I
was down there
and around
for
that
about
time,
7 years, I think.
Yeah, wow. Because I remember, I think Nick's was doing his apprenticeship up at Skin Effects then, and he was coming down and getting tattooed by you.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember, like, back then your style was different to now, but would it be fair to say around that period, in that sort of 7-year window, that you really sort of went towards more of a custom artist?
Yeah, definitely. And actually, even the piece I did, I think I did tattoo Nick's a couple of times, but one of the bigger pieces I did on him on his leg.
Yep.
I look at it now even and go, yeah, that's when things sort of started to change for me a little bit. You know what I mean? It was more of a very much sort of a neo-trad sort of, you know, skulls, but flames, but kind of with a bit of a twist on it, you know? Yeah,
totally. A lot. That was the era of, like, you know, I think Good Charlotte was on the scene. Everyone was getting the nautical stars, you know, then it was like negative stars with purple and 2 greens and all this sort of stuff. It was,
loads of purple, mate.
Yeah,
purple.
Mate,
purple
if only I could get purple.
Stars.
Purple's a hard colour to get in.
Yeah, I don't use it anymore.
So, you know, and then after that period of time, you then went and opened up back to Bundle. Correct me if I've got the timeline right. You then went and opened up 383 with Nick's. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. So after being down at Borderline for about 7 years, because through tattooing Nick's and everything, like, we became good mates and that. And I think, you know, he had been at Skin Effects tattooing for a few years by then, and he was kind of looking for the next move as well. So we sort of joined forces and, looked at loads of different, you know, premises, obviously, all over the Goldie. But the thing was, like, Borderline had been hectically busy. Like, you used to get booked out for months and months in advance. And I think Skin FX was a bit similar to that, you know, plus all the walk-ins that you used to get. And it was kind of like we sort of sat down and we decided between us that we were quite keen to get off that touristy scene, you know, and make it a little bit more of a custom appointment sort of shop. So we end up out of Bundle, which, you know, it served us really well, but it, you know, there's not much out there. It's kind of more of a showroom sort of area, you know, like there's Harvey Normans and stuff like that out there. But we ended up there, and actually really did work out well. It was really good. Yeah,
well, I think part of that as well, you know, that's where you're getting off that so-called tourist trade and that sort of thing, and you're maybe getting more of the serious collector. Like, it becomes a destination that you have to travel to. You know, you have to go a bit off the beaten track to get custom work and source out, you know, these guys that are going to push the boundaries a bit more.
Yeah, that's what we figured, and it did work out really well. Like, even though, like I say, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere as far as, you know, the main drag of what people perceive Surfers Paradise and, you know, Broadbeach or Burleigh to be like. It did work, and people came. Yeah, that's the thing, like you're saying, people came.
Totally. And correct my history if I'm wrong, the name 383, did that come from the number of the building?
Yeah, that's where it started at the bundle there. We were tossing out all these different names, and Nick said, he said, what about we just go with like the street name, because it was Unit 383 Ashmore Road, and I was just like, bang, that's it. Like, as soon as he said it, I thought, yeah, that sounds, I don't know why, but it sounded right, you know. So that's what we went with, 383.
Yeah, cool. And who was initially with you, like you, Nix? Because you had, like, I know Matty Mooney worked there for a while.
He did,
a lot of really good artists.
So, you know, for, I don't know what it was, about 6 months, it was just me and Nix, and it was a fairly, not huge shop, but definitely bigger, you know, than just the two-man shop. So for about 6 months, it was just us two, and then Andy Christ, who I used to work with at Burleigh. He came and had a chat, and we ended up putting Andy on. And he was with us for a few years as well. He's an awesome artist as well.
Mate. Andy's killer. Didn't Andy start off with Link up at All Star?
Yeah, he did.
Because Benno Switchfoot's just gone. Link told me some funny stories of those days at Borderline. I wish I could remember them. But yeah.
Because Link used to come down and do get few guests at Borderline. So we'd all end up over at the Burleigh pub, and he's got his sideways pretty regularly.
Mate, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, it does happen. It still happens.
Yeah, crazy. So, and I imagine around that time as well, like the convention scene was opening up a little bit in Australia. You're probably going to conventions a bit more.
Yeah, we did a few. We did a couple of Sydney conventions and Melbourne. And the Logan one was pretty good for us always. We always used to take the whole crew up to the Logan show. And yeah, used to have a good time up there. That was a good fun show.
Yeah, amazing. And and from that, like lots of guests coming through. Did Mitch Love ever work at 383 or do guest spots there?
Yeah, because he came up under Link too.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because I went when I was at Skin Effects. Oh, when I was at Skin Effects, Mitch was like running the counter, and then when I left, he went on and did his stuff with Link and everything. Yeah,
Link apprenticed him, and then I think he was still working with Link, but he was coming down and doing a few days with us, and then going back and forward for a little while, and then eventually he sort of came. But he was still living up in Brisbane at that point, so I think he was doing a fair bit of travelling.
Yeah.
Which I think
so around that time as well. So around that time as well, you know, you've got this new shop. It's getting busier. More people are coming. You're doing more custom work. Your boys are growing up. How were you finding like juggling, you know, family life and you know, starting to become like a full-on custom artist?
Yeah, well, it was at that time that I did pull back a little bit. I stopped doing weekends completely there for probably 3 or 4 years because I just knew that the time with the kids sort of thing. I mean, obviously they were at school and stuff like that in the week, but I thought, you know, I've got to spend my weekends with them, and you know, then they got into rugby league, and you know, if I wanted to see those games, there was no way I could be working Saturdays and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I did peg it back to just Monday to Friday there for a few years while they were in that sort of stage, you know. Yeah,
cool. And then what brought on the move from Bundall to the Broadbeach location?
Well, during that time, Nick's had sort of made, you know, started to make a few contacts in the States and stuff. So he was travelling over there a fair bit. Well, not a fair bit, but back and forward. And we kind of felt it was time to move. And at the same time, we were hanging out with Frank quite a lot. And I don't know, it's just like you said before, it was just one of those sort of natural progressions. You know what I mean? We kind of was over a little bit the where we were.
Yep.
And in the meantime, a lot of shops had sort of suddenly opened up, all over the coast.
Yeah.
I think when we opened 383 in Bundle, the first one, we were the 9th or 10th shop on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it's crazy, hey.
And when we
and that's between
there was like 50 shops, So
yeah, and that's between like Tweed Heads and like Southport.
Yeah,
a big area.
Yeah, so we were thinking, well, maybe now, after all what we sort of set up and everything, maybe now is time to sort of get back into the more of the little bit mainstream sort of the coastal strip sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Frank was sort of really open to the idea of sort of like teaming up as well, and sort of coming together and uniting as two shops as one sort of thing,
Yeah, mate. Two, three heads are better than one.
Well, yeah, I mean, Frank was already in Broadbeach at Universal, so, the foot in the door was there, and it just kind of happened really naturally sort of thing.
Yeah, cool. Hey, we've just got a question from Joe M. Tattoo saying, how did you juggle drawing time in the Mondays to Fridays? Was it in the morning or late nights?
Both.
Yeah.
Actually, I still do it. So what I normally do is rough out the design at night.
Yeah.
A couple of vinos involved, so I don't put down any hard lines at that point. And then I wake up in the morning and see what I've come up with, and then sort of tidy it up a bit, But no, that's the routine. That's sort of jokes aside. But yeah, I usually rough them out at night time. Yeah. So, obviously you've already worked all day, so you come home, get the basics down, and then wake up fresh and.
I've found myself sometimes, and I've discussed this with you as well. Like sometimes it's good to have a bit of pressure on. Like you've done most of the work, and you just know by experience, all right, I can do this now. I'll finish the line drawing off, and you're on a time frame. Sometimes you're far better from productivity wise than just sort of pouncing around.
Yeah, I like to be prepared. I still do. I don't like to walk in and start drawing half hour or something before the client gets here. I know it's less pressure on myself if I've got all that groundwork already done. I might come in the morning and tweak it a bit, but it'll be 90% there usually.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So when you guys moved to Broadbeach as well, that was, I'd been away from the Goldie for a period of time, but I imagine that's when there was coming a bit of a shift away from surfers, and Broadbeach was really developing into like, a super cool area. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think. I mean, Broadbeach is, it has its ups and downs a bit, to be honest. Like even before, the COVID thing, like the year before that, you walk down the strip of Broadbeach, and I don't know what happened. There was some sort of, I don't know, financial thing there, but there was that many restaurants for lease, and it's just a bad year. That would have been sort of probably 2018 or 2017 maybe. So it does fluctuate a bit. I mean, the business in Broadbeach for everyone, I think, has been kind of stronger since that big lockdown we had last year.
Yeah.
Which is real strange, really. But
it is strange. Like I was talking to my mate Trevor McStay, and they've obviously been through 5 lockdowns, and he goes, the crazy thing is, even after 5 of them, it's still busy. People are just like locked up. They want to do something positive for themselves. They want to spend some money, and tattoos are for you. They make you feel good about yourself. Like no one can take it away. So, yeah, it's a cool thing.
Obviously doubled with the fact as well, people can't go on overseas holidays and that, so they probably maybe got some spare money that they might not normally have. So
yeah, I'm sure you guys are getting the same. That we get so many inquiries of people that have got something half finished from either Thailand or Bali because they can't get back there. So that kind of helps as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, we do get a bit of that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So with that shop, you and Frank, everyone joined forces. Nix is obviously spending more time in the States, back and forward. I was lucky. I come and did some guest spots at that shop. Amazing shop. We've had such a good crew, and like anything, people come, people go, but you've always maintained like a really solid crew of heavy hitters. And with this new shop now, can you sort of talk us who's working with? Maybe actually, could you give us a walk through the shop?
Yeah, sure.
And show us everyone's bay and tell us, tell us a bit about them, please.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So yeah, obviously I'm in my bay here.
Yeah, awesome. Someone's just asked, is Pom related to Ray Winston?
Yeah, that's my brother-in-law.
Amazing.
Nah. Ray, yeah, he's good. I like Ray Winston. So,
he's a lead, mate. 44-inch chest.
Did you see him?
There you go. There's Reggie.
Reggie.
The shop mascot.
Reggie's wondering what he's doing here at this late hour. So anyway, this is my bay here. Next to me here is Robin B Tattoos, Robin Brandstatter.
Yep.
Who does the most incredible neo trad. This is all his work here. Can you see that?
Wow. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, mate. I love it when artists like decorate their own area. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
His art is absolutely amazing, mate.
Yep.
As well as
so good.
Obviously. And then here is kind of a bit of a guest bay. We've got Phoebe May here. She's been doing a little spot.
Nice.
And then this is Bree, Killer B.
Yep.
This is her spot. Brooke Darling's down here.
Yeah, cool. Man, that's some awesome artwork.
Yeah, look at these. You seen those before?
Yeah, wow.
They're so nice. And that's
awesome.
one of Brooke's own.
Yeah, killer.
Biro sketches.
Whoa.
I'll just show you quickly. That's the little drawing area at the back we got here.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, awesome. So how many of you are working at the shop now, roughly?
10 or 12 maybe. This is Bodine.
Yeah, cool.
This is Bodine's area, Bodine Crawford.
Yep. Nice.
And then next to him is Eddie Yardley. And then we got Drew the Ink.
Yep.
And then we got Seb, that's Doppler Tattoo.
Yep.
And then we've got Adrian. And
awesome.
Miss Marshall. This is Frank up here. The shop's a little bit of a mess, obviously, because no one's been in. Is it gone real dark or?
No, it's all good, mate. See all the flash on the wall. It's cool.
Yeah, this is all the flash. So kind of there's two areas to the shop.
Yep.
Back here is more your sort of custom booking stuff, and that up here we got guys who still do obviously bookings and custom work, but
yeah,
you can also come in and pick some flash,
Yeah, no, and I imagine the front of the shop there's a bit more energy going on, like shorter bookings, bit more banter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, we're really happy, mate. I mean, this place, I don't know if you saw any of the photos that we were posting, the before photos of what this looked like. It was a proper fucking mess, to be honest.
Yeah, but mate, I saw that's like a culmination of all your contacts over the years. You did a pretty quick reno.
Yeah, it was. It did come together quite quick, but there was one point there where we were like, "What have we done? Like, what have we done? Bitten off here?" But yeah, it definitely paid off, and it did come together. I think it was like a 3-month turnaround or something like that. So,
mate, that's quick.
Well.
That's quick. So, Beach Vibes has just asked, was there a specific artist that you got into Japanese? And that's you, but is there anyone else doing it as well?
Here in the shop?
Yeah.
No, I probably do more Japanese sort of style stuff than anyone else in the shop. I mean, a few of the guys are pretty diverse, but I guess that's probably something I'm asked to do more than anyone else here at the moment. Yeah,
so there you go, Beach Vibes. Just look at Pom's Instagram and you know where to go. So, yeah, amazing. So with all of that, like, someone else has asked as well, like, I know you guys are super cruisy and very well respected, and you're not just going to have dickheads coming and working for you. So someone's asked, what's it like managing all those artists?
Yeah, I think the fact that, we got 3 owners helps a little bit, you know what I mean? It's not like you're one guy trying to sort of balance everything out yourself sort of thing. Everyone's got their role as far as sort of management goes. You know what I mean? Which
Yep.
probably helps it a bit. But the group of artists we've got in here at the moment is the most harmonious sort of group of artists I've ever worked with. You know what I mean? Like everyone just gets on so good. It's
Hey, is there two rooms playing two different sorts of music?
No, we've just got like one system that sort of cranks it out here, and
nice.
We got a TV. I think the TVs play different stuff. I'm kind of tucked away here a little bit in my corner. You know, sometimes I like that because it keeps me separated from the front. You know what I mean? The front, as in front counter reception and that. But there's other times where I think, oh, I wish I could hear that conversation a bit better. You know?
Mate, I know. Like I've recently moved away last year or so. Moved away from the front counter, and it's not a bad thing, you know.
Yeah.
Because you
Frank's up there next to the front counter because he likes to be very hands-on with what comes through the door, and he handles that also well. So that works out good. He's up there. I know he's taking care of it, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, you know, in a way, I like to be sort of tucked around in the corner.
Yeah, totally. So how long have you been tattooing for now? It's got to be 25 plus.
I think it's 20. It is 25 plus. I mean, you know, even though we spoke about working in my brother's bedroom and doing that, I don't really count that. And then when I came over here, like I said, I was graphic designing for a while and, you know, a couple of different things. So it hasn't been completely consistent start and tattoo all the way through. There was a couple of breaks in there, but I reckon it's got to be 25, 28, something like that.
Yeah, nice. But your style now, like, mate, you've got, what would you describe your style as? Like a neo-Japanese, neo-traditional?
No, it's definitely not traditional, not neo-Jap influence, whatever. We're still with that kind of, what we were saying, a bit of probably comic-y.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know, something thrown in there.
Yeah, but like you've always been considered like one of the leaders on the Goldie. And doing your thing, and I know a lot of tattooers always said to me that you're not gonna probably like this. You're kind of like the unofficial king of Gold Coast tattooing. Like you serious? No, I'm serious, Pom, and I don't say it lightly. It's very true, and you know, because you've been around from day one.
I think that's
you've
probably
worked
just
your
a
way
longevity thing, mate. You know.
Totally, and mate, longevity is difficult, but to be at the stage in your career where you are. Still be so passionate about it, still push yourself, still, I imagine, have a crazy work ethic. You're still so productive. You know, for a lot of younger artists and people that are even halfway through their career, you know, I know you're someone that they keep an eye on to like show them that, you know, you can do it. You can run a shop. You can have a family. You can be a successful artist. So that's me giving you a rap, mate, from the bottom of my heart because it's
Cheers,
true.
mate. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. But I mean, you're right. You know, I am still passionate about it. I do still enjoy it. I can't, you know, there's no way I could do anything else. This is what I'm doing, and I'll keep doing it for as long as people want me to do it. You know. So and mate, keep kicking along, and it's still, you know, it's still a job. You know yourself. I mean, I love it.
Totally. And it's moments like this when we're locked down that you kind of, you know, you appreciate it that little bit more. It's, you know, having, you know, we're so lucky to be able to come to a cool job in a cool shop with cool people, cool customers. It's, you know, we're very blessed in life.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you, mate. And, you know, I do remind myself of that sometimes. I mean, you know, a couple of the other jobs I have done, you know, in between is like brickies labouring and stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I don't feel like I was put here to do that. You know, I'm where I was sort of meant to be, I think, and I'll just keep going, mate, until they don't want me to do it anymore.
Yeah, well, mate, that's a long time coming. So I'm going to try and like get some info out of you. Like, so we talked about that Mickey Sharp's machine before, so you've seen the progression of everything. So, like, what are your daily drivers these days? Are you on coils? Are you on like rotaries or pens?
I've got a pen. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a mast.
I have heard of it. Yep.
Which is a cordless machine, which I've only just sort of probably started using the last, I don't know, 9 months. I mean, you know,
What, for
think a lot of
shading, colour, or lining?
No, shading and colour only.
Yep.
I still line with the Mickey Sharps.
Nice.
And I use that for my fine line. So with lining, I only use a Pop 14 and a tight 5. So the Mickey Sharps runs the tight 5, and I've got a Cuban running the bigger lines.
Yeah, cool. So they're your two main needle groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For lining, they're the only needle groups, yeah.
Right, okay, cool. What about for shading, using curve mags, flats?
Curve mags, 15 or 27, that's it.
Yeah, nice. The big mother.
Yeah. And I actually prefer the 27s. I use them probably more than the 15s, I guess.
Yeah, cool.
From the Emerald, have you used those?
Yep. Yeah, they're a nice cartridge.
Yeah, I really like the 27 in particular, the Curve 27. It's very smooth. I really like it.
Yeah, it's funny sometimes you just get a needle that clicks with you, and then after so many hours on it, you're just like, you're harmonious with it, and that's the one.
Yeah.
You know. So as far as artwork now, like I can see like when you're talking about sketching stuff out, are you sketching it out on paper these days, or on an iPad, or a combination of the two?
No, on paper, mate.
Nice.
I did get an iPad. I actually swapped Dave's tattooing for a big iPad and the pencil and everything a couple of years ago, but I watched UFC on it.
Nice. What's convenient.
but I don't do any drawing on it. No, I'm still pencil and paper, mate. I don't know, like old dog new tricks, I guess. It works for me.
Yeah.
But I do see everyone else has got them here, and I do see them using them. And sometimes I look over the shoulder and think, "Fucking hell, that looks easy,"
Mate, I'm the same.
There you go. There you go.
It is one of them things, but I actually find like they're definitely useful, and they're a great tool. But I find with what I'm doing, I find it a lot quicker. Like I'm not pencils. I use Sharpies and rough it out and layer it. It's a lot quicker for me that way. Okay, we've got a question here from Inkworks. He's saying, what machine do you use for the 27?
The Mast.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
The cordless machine. And that's why initially I wanted to try that machine, is because it was cordless, and for years, mate, I've hated using a click cord, like, tangling up or especially if you were lining and, halfway through the line, your click cord snags on the cling wrap on your arm board or, and for years I've been like, can't wait for him to bring out a machine that's cordless, properly cordless, And actually Nick said that a few of the guys at 7 over in Vegas were using them. I mean, they're not an expensive machine at all.
Yeah. And that's the thing now. It's, so many people are branching out into the machine market and needles. There's a lot of good stuff out there. So, so do you do many prints these days, or do you paint?
Yeah,
or
I was actually working on a piece of art today that I'm hoping might be a good print for me.
Yeah, nice.
I've got a couple up behind me there.
Yeah, cool. What are you painting on? Arches and using watercolor or Copics?
Yeah, a bit of both. Bit of Copics. That's one up there. That one
cool.
Good for me. And that other
mad.
One up there.
That's hot. Yeah, Nue.
Yeah, Nue. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So Sam's just asked, who? Oh, don't worry about me. It's about Pom. Who do you look up to for inspiration, say tattoo wise?
Oh man, there's so many.
A hard one.
Very hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably sounds weird because my work looks nothing like them, but I really like, well, sort of the stuff you do as well, but people like, proper traditional Japanese, like, which is not what I do, obviously, but Shane Tan and that, I love Shane.
Oh, mate.
Shane.
Yeah, it's powerful.
And that Ian Ildet, is it?
Yep.
His stuff's amazing.
Mate, it's just like a mad sticker, like mad saturation, just so graphic.
So solid, eh? So solid.
Yeah.
So, but kind of people like that, I guess. But, back when I was sort of starting out more, it was people like Marcus Pacheco and Timothy
the
Boyer
San Francisco
and
crew.
like that. That was a kind of a that crazy twist on neo trad sort of thing,
Yep. Hey, who's tattooed you over the years? Who have you got some nice pieces from?
I've got loads of shit pieces, Rhys. But
who have you got loads of shit from?
well, my brother.
Yep. Mate, my arms just covered in crap.
My sleeves my arms are pretty not great because they've been lasered and covered up and stuff like that. I've got a piece up here by Trevor that he done at the 2000 convention in Surfers. Yep. But on the torso, I've got some fairly, good pieces from Judd Ripley. I've got Matt Mooney, when he was working at the old shop at Bundle, he did my ribs.
Yeah, cool.
Jake Gardner, I've got a few pieces from Jake Gardner.
Yeah, nice.
And on the stomach, I've got a Dean Kalkoff wolf.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. Mystic done some lettering on the stomach as well.
Yeah, cool. Cool. So with what you're doing now, like what's your normal week look like tattoo-wise? Is it like one customer a day or two a day?
It's usually one.
Yep.
Now and again, it might be two, two sort of, 2 half days.
And I imagine at this stage in your career, it's just larger, ongoing, bigger pieces.
It is, yeah. I mean, sometimes it works out good because you might get a week of nearly all continuations, but then it can go the other way, and you look in your diary and it's like start back job.
Yeah. I find for me, I go through periods where I've got a lot of homework and then I've got no homework.
Yeah.
And then a lot of it and none, and you come to the end of the cycle and it sort of starts again.
Kicks off again, yeah. And you're going to be flat out even when you get home.
So what I'm going to do, mate, we're getting towards the end of it. I sort of been asking some questions at the end. So just sort of get a little bit more about just some funny, silly stuff as I try and become a talk show host. So what's your favorite color ink? Don't say purple.
No, definitely not purple. Teal.
Good color. Yeah, I really like greens too. So what's your favorite tea or coffee?
Oh. Well, when I get a coffee from next door at Big L's, I always get just flat white with an almond milk.
Yeah, nice.
With a bit of honey as well, Rhys. A bit of honey.
Well, mate, that's how you keep that beautiful voice in tune. All right, what's your favourite alcoholic drink?
Hard
what are you drinking tonight?
I've got a beer and I've got a scotch there.
Nice.
Scotch. But probably red wine.
Yeah, nice. So this is something for all your customers. So when they finish a large piece and they want to thank you, like you'd be very appreciative for a nice bottle of red wine.
Sounds good to me, mate.
Nice, nice. And then, what's your favourite home cooked meal?
Got a few of those. You know what? I like shepherd's pie.
No, mate, I thought that's a good English statement. I thought you would have said a Sunday roast.
Well, yeah, Sunday roast is good, yeah.
Nice.
But that's Sunday, On
True,
Tuesday,
there's 6 other days, isn't there? All right, what's your favourite takeaway meal?
We've got 2 places up here around the corner. There's a Japanese place called Murasaki.
Yep.
It does like a teppanyaki, spicy chicken.
Yep.
Or another Japanese, actually, Fuku.
Oh, nice.
They're both good takeaway, really good takeaway. If you're in Broadbeach, they're the places to go and get takeaway, I reckon.
Awesome. So Lewis has just said Big L's, the best coffees in Broadbeach. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. So free coffees from the
shop.
shop.
The best mullets.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I'm speechless. So
it's pretty amazing.
I can't ever recall seeing a barista with a mullet.
Nah. No, well, they've got a barber in there as well, so they can do whatever. But yeah.
No, all right. So, what's your favourite royal family member?
Megan.
Nice, nice. All right. What's your favourite soccer team?
Liverpool.
All right. What's your favourite English band?
Stone Roses.
What's your favourite Oasis song?
Ooh,
I got ya.
you have. Can't even think of the name. It's the first song on their first album.
Do you want to sing it for us?
Nah. Rock and you don't want me to sing it for us.
I do.
Rock and roll, I think it is, or something. I don't know.
All right. What's your favourite sort of car?
The one I sold you, mate.
Mate, Valiance for life. Amazing. What's your favourite cocktail?
Mojito. Lychee mojito.
Nice. Your favourite holiday destination?
I went to Italy, the Amalfi Coast, a few years ago. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, cool. Cool. All right, what's not your favourite, but one of your favourite images to tattoo?
I guess a Hanya.
Yeah, nice, nice. All right. This is an easy one. Like, you should get it. What's your favourite tattoo shop?
Oh, Little Tokyo, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it's 383 for fuck's sake.
I'm joking.
But you know, good default answer. Good default answer. So, but mate, when all this is done, I hope one day you'll come down and do a guest spot.
I'd love to, mate. I'd love to.
Yeah, it'll be good. All right, this is the controversial one. What's your favourite vaccine?
Is that for real?
Yeah, you can say mumps or measles.
Yeah, I'll go with mumps.
Nice. All right, what's your favourite pair of trainers?
Cortez.
Nice, nice. All right, so we'll wrap it up, Pom. But thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate you coming in lockdown. So where can people? What's the easiest way for people to contact you and also the shop?
Well, probably just contact. As far as bookings go, I mean, I chat to people all the time on DMs and that, but I won't end up taking the actual booking. I'm happy to talk about designs and stuff like that, but if they want to actually book in, they'll best just to call the shop or email the shop, and it all gets taken care of up there, you know. Yeah,
Matt. Is the shop open 7 days a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the hours?
Mate, it's open at 10 and there's no real close time. It's whenever it wraps up, you know.
Yeah, good.
You know, some people work till midnight nearly. Drew's here till late most nights, and people are out at sort of 3 or 4, you know.
Yeah,
we're pretty versatile with all that, you know.
Yeah, awesome. And if anyone wants to like hit you guys up for a guest spot because it's such a melting pot, what's the best way to do that? Just a DM as well?
I think a DM's probably best, mate. Yeah, we've got some great guest artists coming through at the moment. I mean, we had a few actually due to start this week and next week, so juggling those around. But yeah, hit us up. Like, we love that sort of influx of different talent coming through the shop. It's great.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, mate, we've had quite a lot of questions come through, so sorry to everyone that we couldn't answer. If we haven't answered it, just feel free to send Pom a message or me, and we'll do our best to answer it for you. But mate, thanks again from the bottom of my heart, mate. It's been fun, and you know, mad respect for you and all the 383 crew, and I really hope you guys get back to work on Monday.
Thanks, Rhys. Appreciate it, mate. It's been fun.
See you, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Ciao, guys.
Cheers.